Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm your host, Michael Watson, and on today's episode, we're actually going to highlight the men's soccer team here at UIS. And sitting to the left of me is the head coach of the men's soccer team, Coach Jesse Miech. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
I'm going to start off this conversation by wanting your thoughts about your summer so far. And I know that you've been super busy trying to get ready for the fall semester and fall schedule.
Yeah, I think we're 2 days away from guys reporting in. So right now, just getting guys' paperwork done. Medical paperwork as far as insurance policies, sickle cell testing, all that good stuff, and then just getting them here to campus so we can, meet them face to face and set up our preseason.
I know we had a conversation before the show, discussing a lot about what do you expect from your players in regards, from the break in the summer, and I was wondering, in the fall, after the fall league play and maybe after the spring session, do you discuss with your players, what do you expect as a coach from them in regards to their off the field training in the summer?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a big part into the success of your fall because we are a fall sport and we don't have, like some other sports, basketball, let's say, they can come in and, run kind of their, not a preseason, but they can fall into their classes right away and kind of figure out, their daily schedule. We're here 2 weeks before school starts, and we report on Friday of this week, and our first game is Friday of the following week. So it's basically we start practice on Monday. We have 4 days to figure some stuff out, and if we're trying to get those guys in shape, it can take away from the learning curve. What we're trying to do more as a system, how we're going to play now. It's a long year for soccer players, and I think it's for any athlete because it's like a full-time job. They have their classes, and then they have to balance, training, which can go anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day, 5 to 6 times a week. And we give the guys about three to 4 weeks off right away once they're done with school in May, and we started up on June 1st, and basically telling guys what we'd like them to do. We're not allowed to require them to do workouts. It still has to be voluntary. We're not allowed to have them report scores to us or tell us exactly what they're doing, but we recommend a certain schedule on, conditioning, things like that, weightlifting, plyometrics, all that good stuff. And it's really, in the end, it's their choice to choose if they want to do it and prepare themselves. But that's across the board. That's with Division I teams, Division II, Division III. It's just these workouts have to be voluntary in the summer.
So players report this Friday, correct?
They report this Friday, the 10th. Actually, the way we have it set up is the rules say that we cannot train until Monday, and that's the 13th. And we're not allowed to have players come in until Friday, and all that is a team meal. And then we hand out the gear on Saturday, go through physicals, some compliance work. Sunday, it's pretty much making sure that if guys are missing any paperwork, we get that kind of stuff done. But Sundays kind of let them completely move in, get settled in.
Get the right mindset. Really.
Exactly, and then Monday they go at it with the practices.
So a week from this Friday is your first scrimmage, really, for the upcoming season. Now, now these scrimmage games are a great test for you, as a coach, to see where your players are at, maybe physically or even mentally. Now, as a coach, what do you expect from your players, within these scrimmage games?
I think that first week, I'm trying to figure out exactly what each player is going to bring to our program, and that whether it's a positive attitude and a willing to work and learn, all the way down to what position do they fit into, because every player is going to play a role on this team. Some are going to play more of a playing role, others are going to be more of a developmental role. Whether it's a senior, freshman, just and talent-wise. So the first thing is that first week I got to figure out what the strengths of our team and each individual, and then we apply that in the game. And it's just a test run. Throw some players in some different positions, maybe try a different formation or two, and just see how that sticks. And then we've got 3 of those exhibitions this year, or scrimmages, that we can do a trial run, see how that works. If something doesn't work out well, we got it on video, we watch it, break it down, show it to the team, and then we just keep on preparing each scrimmage going forward until we get to our first regular game.
Now, as the scrimmages before the season is a great, great way as a coach to actually look at your team. Now, is it a challenge for the incoming freshmen to get involved, within the team and maybe, as a coach, try to instill your own philosophy, within your freshman class?
I think normally if you recruit the right type of person and the type of person who comes from a good background, whether it's club or it's just being raised by good parents that have good values and working hard and all that stuff, they should be able to jump in right away. I'm recruiting kids that are competitive, are good players, and our team's a little bit different than probably most teams where I think once we get on a normal recruiting cycle, we'll bring in 3-4 freshmen a year. So they might feel like they're a little bit of an outcast, maybe the first practice. But we're bringing in 12 new players. So there's no one, we got 9 returners, 13 new players if you count a person that was added last spring. So we're at 22 players and, basically only 9 of them are returners. So I don't think it should be a huge problem for someone to feel like they're not fitting in. I think that the main challenge is going to be to get these guys playing together and gelling together pretty quickly.
As a coach, you had to feel some excitement to have new faces within your program. Discuss maybe some of the people that you're bringing in possibly, and maybe some of the returners that you're have on your team.
And there was a newspaper article that went out, Marcia from the Journal Register reported, and I made a statement in there. Our returning guys, and I've been saying this since last year, they're the guys that really want to be here. They're the guys who put in a very hard spring. They got beat up last year as a team, just getting the bumps and bruises as far as not doing very well on the win-loss record. But they've made great strides, and like I said, they're the glue to our team right now. They're the ones who are going to hold everything together, establish the culture because they know what I expect. And then the new guys coming in, we got a whole bunch of different kids. We got 2 transfer kids that'll bring us some age. They're in different positions. We got 4 international kids coming in, 1 from Spain, 1 from Barbados, 1 from Israel, 1 from Korea, and then we have some freshmen that come from some pretty good clubs. So there's going to be a pretty diverse group of people that are coming in here with different experiences from different levels, and also just different backgrounds of what they think how soccer should be played or what their strengths are. So it should be very fun, very exciting. It's just once we get these guys going all in the same direction, we should be a pretty exciting and fun team to watch.
Coach, I wouldn't mind stepping back a little bit, going back into the past, this past season, and I know it was kind of a rough season for you and your ball club, but I wouldn't mind getting your thoughts, over your positive, thoughts maybe, of what you saw on the field, from your team.
I think, as far as mentality-wise, we talk about that all the time, mentality and culture and trying to create this for the team, and it's been great. The guys have been hungry. I think, once we hit the spring season, they had something to prove, and, they've been a very good group to work with, and, it wasn't like, we didn't have a good record, but it wasn't like we weren't a good team. We weren't a great team, but we just weren't there completely, and we were missing a lot of pieces, and some of the pieces were just, just being a little bit more seasoned as far as knowing what to expect going into games, knowing what to expect out of their new head coach. And I think, right now they've been doing a great job responding. And I think they're very excited for the new players that are coming in to see how the hard work in the spring season paid off. And, we also have 3 kids that were on last year's team that were pretty good players for us that did not play because of injuries. So they're also chomping at the bit, going, man, I watched the team play all last year. I couldn't really help out. I was sitting on the bench. Now they're ready to go. And I think the most positive thing about our team is that we are positive in our mindset going forward, and these kids want to play, and they're very looking forward to getting in that first game, and especially this first practice coming up.
Besides you as a leader, you love seeing maybe some of the student athletes show their leadership, throughout the team. I wouldn't mind getting some of your thoughts of your seniors this year, your senior group within the team.
We have 3 of them. We have John Hamer, Victor Martinez, and Ben Ralph. Ben Ralph is coming off of a great season. He's more of a quiet character. He leads by example. He was basically our coach's award last year, was the most valuable player on our team. He received that honor, and I expect him to have a great year. Victor Martinez, he probably didn't get to play as much as he wanted to last year during the fall, and just position-wise, and he was coming in as a transfer student, and he put in a great spring and has been working his tail off, and this summer doing the same thing, and I have nothing but good things and positive things to think that are going to come out of him this year. John Hamer's another kid who is a workaholic, a kid that's going to come in here, have a lot of endurance under his belt. Fitness, can play in a few different positions as far as outside back and a wing, whatever you want to call it, a forward or an outside midfielder, can get it up and down the field. So we've got 3 seniors that are very determined, are very fit, which is important, and very committed, and I think they're on the verge of leading this team into success from a past that was a little bit more shakier. And I think we've got the guys ready to go, and those seniors are going to play a big part of it.
I wouldn't mind getting your thoughts on 2 things. First, the conference, a really tough GLVC conference, and also I wouldn't mind getting your thoughts of what you want to see as a coach, from your team for this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think our conference, everybody talks about, who's the best conference, this and that. I always say we're in one of the top 3 because any year, conferences can change, but we are in one of the top conferences in the country. It's a pretty big conference. We've got teams from all over the place, whether it's Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Illinois ourselves. And, with McKendree coming in, it's going to be a good team. They replaced Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky was a great team. They're out. So we're still going to have a lot of great games. I'm excited for it because, those games prepare you to get into a conference tournament, and eventually will get you into an NCAA tournament. So I'm very excited about that. As far as what I expect out of my team, I expect to get in the conference tournament and go after a conference championship and get in the NCAA tournament. My highest goals is to win a national championship. Everybody wants to do that, and that should go without saying. But you can't get there to that championship game if you don't get yourself in that NCAA tournament. And once you do, you kind of just go game by game. But right now, we got to focus on putting together a great regular season to give us a chance to get into that conference tournament. And then, like I said, game by game. Our main thing is we got to put ourselves in a position where when we play the last 2 or 3 games, that we control our own fate. Where we're sitting here going, well, if we win 2 out of these 3, we can get ourselves in the tournament. Or if we win our last game, we can get ourselves. We don't want to be sitting there going, wow, if McKendree does this and Bellarmine does that and this does that and we win this, we want to basically be in control of our own fate. So I expect our guys to be in the conference tournament this year, and I expect us to go to that championship game. And I don't think there's any other mindset that myself or my players should have. And we're playing to win, and that's what it's about, being competitive.
Well, Coach, I thank you for your time, and I wish you luck for this upcoming season.
All right, thank you.
For more information on the UIS men's soccer team, you can always check out the athletics homepage at uisprairiestars.com. Until next time, I'll see you later.